Hello, hello. Welcome to Into the Storm. I'm Sir Kiken. I will be the GM for this game. And this is Lamia Sartor.
Hello.
We're going to be doing her intro the same way we did Eli's. Check that out if you haven't seen it. This has taken place a few years in the past. Actually, I think yours is only
Few months.
a few months in the past. Yeah. A few months before the campaign starts. We're going to get to know Lamiya a little bit. And I didn't start the music. So let's do that too. I had before this. I had a whole thing about what music should we intro with. Wow, let me add this to the playlist. So guess what? It's also not even queued up correctly. Let's do that too. I really hope everyone
Uh,
could have heard this whole time. If you haven't, I'm Sir Kid, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And this is Lamia Sartor, played by Giselle.
Also doesn't know what I'm doing.
But you at least should be able to hear music now. Hopefully, it's not too loud. Yeah,
We're very quiet people, so yeah,
great
definitely hope
start.
it's not too late.
Yeah, we'll be doing we'll do the intro for Lamia the same way we did Eli's. If you haven't checked it out, go do that. Shameless plug here. This is only taking place a few months in the past before the campaign starts, which is really soon, as of the recording of this video at least. And yeah, ready to go in, or you wanna tell the
Yep.
audience anything? Nope. Okay,
Nope. I am totally ready. Let's go.
let's go. Okay, so we begin in the city of Delgi. We close in. Of course, it's raining because it's almost always raining in Setsegia. And I feel like I may have been a little misleading when I keep calling it ever storming. It is mostly always storming. There are a few hour periods where there's a break in the clouds and you get a little bit of sunlight, but it generally goes back. It is very rare that you will have a full day of cloudless skies and warmth. Otherwise, it is kind of slushy, and this is a day just like that, as the rain patters across the roof of the wooden house that was bought by your hearth. Well, your grandmother's hearth, that being kind of your family, your close loved ones. And we're going to move a little bit past the house because that's not where our subject begins. We go a few yards away, just past some fencing and a couple of other houses, even alongside the road, to the outskirts of the woods, sort of an unclaimed space where lots of people go to have any varied number of activities. Today, that activity was practice, training, preparing yourself for battle. You see, there are two people out here practicing. One with a polearm, one with a more standard spear. The older one being a male demi. That's a human for those of you uninitiated. Male demi in maybe mid to late 40s. He's got kind of somewhat fair skin. It's overcast here, hard to get a tan. But he also has kind of snowy white hair, sort of medium length, nearly touching the shoulders and the back, but kind of tied back into a ponytail. And you can see that he is actually beginning to pack up gear and some other things that have been set out. And nearby, we have. Go ahead and describe your character.
Miss Lamia Sator. She also has pale white hair. It's kind of short and springy. Just kind of comes up like this. And she has deep blue eyes. The most prominent feature for her is her scars on her face, which one is over her camera view is different than picture view sometimes. So that would be her left eye. And a scar right on her right cheek and one over her nose. Very prominent. She's pretty muscular looking. And she's just standing there looking over at her father, actually.
He he gets like a he kind of has broken down this like wooden dummy that you guys use into sort of like more bare components. And, he's got it kind of packed up in this bag. There's a bit of a canopy over like the space you're sort of standing in that it has a lot of like cover from the leaves and that sort of stuff. So you get a semi-dry area, but otherwise you guys are wearing the family-made specialty ponchos, which stand out a little bit just because most people wear like waxed cloaks, like waxed canvas and things like that are a bit more waterproofed, which we presume these are probably also waxed, but you guys stand out there and you can see that he's got this thing kind of packed up into a bag and he's got everything else, and there's only a limit to how much being soggy and miserable anyone can take, even in these lands. He kind of stands up straight and slings that over his shoulder, and he pauses when you notice you're just kind of staring at him. Lamiya? You look
Dad?
like you want to say something.
Yes, I do. I really do. Fisag Baktu, he's offered me a job, and I intend to go take it.
Visag Batu. I don't know that I've heard of him.
You gave me the job, like, maybe 2 months ago. That's where I killed the boar.
He looks like he remembers now. Oh. Offered you another job, did he?
Yes.
Doing what?
Well, probably basic soldier work, but it's still a great opportunity. It'd be in Chand.
In Shand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a little far, don't you think?
Well, yeah, but
Sets
it's a
back down.
great opportunity, and honestly, I think I'm comfortable enough to start traveling.
The way you're approaching this makes me think that perhaps this is not a typical job. Like, you're not going to just go out and complete it and come back.
No, Dad, I didn't intend to come back anytime soon.
There's that ambition again, of course. But Lamiya, you still got quite a bit to learn. I mean, that job with the boar, didn't you almost get gored there? That was dangerous.
Yeah, but Dad, I don't know how to put this, but like, it felt right. I was confident enough to do it. I did it. I helped kill the boar. I managed to
He
make.
cuts you off. He's just, that's because you won. That's because everything went right. Lamiya. It's a different thing when things don't go your way, when you're hurt, when you're tired, when people flee. It takes a bit more experience to know how to handle yourself in those situations. And if you don't, there's not always a second chance.
But Dad, I can't get that experience from the jobs you keep giving me.
I think maybe you're just being a bit impatient. You're still young, Lamiya.
How old were you when you started traveling, Dad?
I started out of necessity. I didn't have the sort of safety net. My traveling was because of... I've told you of my homeland. Biensi is not necessarily a safe place. I know you really want to do this, but you should really reconsider. I'm not trying to hold you back. I understand your Amidraba is of the spear. It sets you on a path to defeat a great enemy. I want that path to be well guided.
I'm sorry, Dad. I understand. I do. But I kind of don't think being guided is part of the no, I wouldn't say problem, but I'd say that it's something that we wouldn't be able to do and have like this. I have to go out and get more experience, and who knows, I might find the great enemy just out there, but not under these conditions, I don't think.
You've never been comfortable under my guidance. I expect you to buck, but surely you trust my experience. You trust that I do want what's best for you. Why
Of
so
course
much
I do,
resistance?
because you're my dad. You want me to be safe and protected. You don't necessarily want me accidentally hurting myself or getting into situations where I could die. I get that. I understand that. But it's. I just don't think that I can flourish underneath your guidance anymore, Dad.
Is that so? Well, fine. It doesn't seem like you're going to back down from this. How about a test?
Okay.
Sets the bag down, takes the waster halberd, the polearm, tosses it over to you,
She grabs it.
refastens the straps on the leather armor you guys wear during training. Says, I'll try to be fair about this, even though the world will not. He grabs the spear, spins it once. This is not really my weapon of choice. Points it at you.
She gets
You
in
land
stance.
one clean hit. One clean one. And I may respect your decision. Your decision.
Okay.
I'm not going easy on you.
I would never expect you to do otherwise.
He gets into his stance as well. We are not going to need to roll initiative.
Okay.
Simply because he's going to wait for you to make the first move.
Okay.
So, let's make sure we got everything up here. Clear that off there. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What'd you
Okay.
do?
No, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. Okay. So, he waits for you to make the first move. And, flat. Set in stance. You've got yours. Go ahead and describe how you attack.
Okay. So we have a canopy over us, right? Is there mud like nearby where he is?
There's mud everywhere. Even under the canopy, there's a little bit of mud.
Okay. Well.
So yes.
So. Okay. So. No, that wouldn't be a clean hit though. Then would it? Never mind. Never mind. Okay.
Well,
so.
by clean hit, he means like if it's a glancing blow, that's not a clean hit, right?
Okay. Okay. So what she wanted to try and do is rush to like his left side and like from the like wooden part of the halberd she'll like dig up some dirt, some of the mud and fling it while then trying to strike overhead with the halberd.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
Okay. Let me -1 from that.
So, pull something up. Okay. 17. Okay. So, you come over, you swing this overhead swing. He just kind of he steps to the side pretty deftly, and he angles the spear where right as you're coming out, it's just next to it, and then he switches his hips very quickly, and there's this loud crack as he just bats to the side with that subtle movement. Your polearm just sinks into the mud next to him, and then as soon as that happens, he pulls it back up and comes like kind of overhead and this like really sharp twisting motion to actually send the spear, like the side of the head of it, straight into your sternum. And he's going to swing. These are, as I said, wooden weapons.
Yep.
You're not actually trying to kill each other.
No. Oh God. I don't know. He might be trying to kill me.
Oh boy. See if that confirms. What's your AC in the leather?
It's 14. It confirms.
I think that confirms for sure. Good God.
Oh my God.
A 20 and a 19. I never read like this. Okay. So you're going to take...
Oh my God.
Ouch. 2d8 plus 8. Well, he didn't roll too terribly great. But still, so yeah, you come in and it's like right as your halberd is sinking into the ground. It hasn't even finished. You still have some forward momentum when this spearhead just smacks right into your sternum, just knocks all the wind out of you in an instant. Your instincts kick in, and you manage to like pivot off and like get your halberd up before the follow-up strike hits. Like he smacks and he immediately comes back down this way. And you get that in the way while you're still kind of gasping for air, get a little bit of distance so he can't just rush into you again. But oh yeah, that one caught you. And you recognize this as he hasn't done that one to you in a long time, but he's definitely caught you like that before often.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times, though, it knocked you down.
Oh, so yay! There's that a little improvement, isn't there? Is that coming out of my normal hit points?
Well, it's non-lethal, so we're counting up to your normal hit points, but yeah.
Okay. Then let me put that damage on there. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, next she's going to go ahead and go to the right right this time instead. And instead of like having the halberd forward and thrush on there, she's going to start dragging it and then like lifting it up with the mud as like a weight to try and get at him. And this time I would like to try and Furious Focus power attack on that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
-1. Much better.
26.
So that's +4 damage on that.
Oh, yeah, you're going to make it. You should make a buff that's got your power attack damage in it. So you can
I tried, but I couldn't find the coding on it. And every time when I put the coding that someone had on there, it did not work.
I'll find one and send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
So that's a 12. Okay, so you come up over, you actually get a much better hit this time. You catch your breath just before, so you like get like a good like exhale on the strike, and he does manage to block part of it, but you see there's a moment where he has to kind of make a very quick switch at the last second, so it doesn't actually like hit his person. Like he hits part of like the mud that's on there, and it just kind of slides off, and he turns, and it goes kind of glances across the back of his armor instead of actually hitting flush. And you can see that when he regains his stance, there's like a couple of extra steps in there because he's a little off balance. So you've definitely pushed him this time. And once he regains his balance, he kind of sets his feet, and you can see him kind of search with his back foot for like a dry spot. And you can see his toes like catch for just a second, and he springs forward, fakes one way, and comes in with an actual thrust towards like the top of your thigh. So let's see if this. That's damage. Let's see if this hits.
Yeah, that hit. Oh wait, no.
Oh, he just hits.
Oh, what bull crap!
He just hits. Okay. Plus, do I have that right? Yes. All right, 7 more non-lethal.
Yeah, I'm doing nasty.
So you're starting to drag a little bit. You're feeling, because it's not just like he doesn't. So when he does that and you fail to defend it, he like hits the top of the thigh, and you kind of go to block late, and it's actually the kind of follow up when you go to block down, and he hits you across the chin with the other side. That's kind of rattles you. And he gets the spear back in place, and he circles back to be right in front of you. He says, Reckless. No surprise there. And he keeps his eyes right on yours.
So in response, Lamia takes like a big deep breath, resets herself, and basically imitates him and goes for a thrust with to in his thigh.
Toward the leg, toward his thigh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Do.
Let's see
Oh.
if the music's still playing. It is.
Sorry, I also wanted to do Furious Focus on that.
Okay. You just say power attack because
Yeah.
your first power attack is always going to have a furious focus benefit.
Yeah. Damn it. Oh well.
12. Not quite.
Mm-mm.
Yep, not quite. That would have been a good hit too.
Yeah, it would have.
So you go for it, and he kind of smirks a little bit, like seeing that you tried the same thing that he tried, and he just kind of slides just out of range. You swipe across the mud, and you kind of get back in your stance, knowing that he's about to come for you. And he does. He pretty much darts right back in, and he kind of does like one quick spin, like he's going to come down on your wrists with the back end, but he pulls up a little bit short. You can actually see him slide the spear like down a little bit further so that it actually misses, hoping you'll try to block it. And then he swings back upward again, like trying to hit underneath the shoulder, like underneath the armpit where the plate is normally. See if he gets it. Ooh,
There's a distinct possibility. Yep, he
does.
got it.
Yep. Yep.
Lamia's gonna be knocked out.
Oh god, yeah. So
Alright, she's knocked out.
it does. You don't actually get like knocked completely unconscious for the purposes of this.
Okay.
So he hits under the arm, and you like it like dead arms you. Like you feel the whole thing kind of go numb for a second, and you lose your grip on part of the halberd. And when you do that, he brings it back around and rests the tip of the spear at your throat. And your arm is still kind of numb. Like you can't even like reach over and try to grab it real quick to be like, oh no, you didn't get me. Like it's like tingles. So you're just kind of trying to keep the halberd up, and he just waits for you to yield.
You're gonna have to knock me out.
Daughter, the fight is over. The smile goes away. Says, I am not your enemy, but you are not ready.
She'll put her halberd not down, but like to the side, and just stare blankly at her father.
He lowers it. We both knew what the stakes were. He goes and picks up the halberd and begins packing everything up. If you're embarrassed and you don't want to look at me right now, go help your mother with dinner. Keeps putting everything away.
She'll help regardless, but she's not speaking.
Slings the bag over his shoulder, kind of gives you kind of a sad look for a moment. Just nods, and you guys head home.
Mm-hmm.
So you get there, your dinner is served, and obviously your mother can tell that something's up because you're in that mode. Your father doesn't seem too interested in talking about it. Like, he's just acting like everything's normal, his dinner, everything else. He's kind of just making small talk. But eventually, when there's an opening, your mother's just, Lamiya dear, what's wrong? You seem taciturn.
What'd she say?
Taciturn.
Taciturn.
Morose,
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Ma. I am. Quite a bit.
Why? Your father goes quiet. Kind of stops eating for a second. She looks at him, looks back at you.
She looks over at her father and then looks at her mother straight in the eye. I want to go take a job from Fisag Batu.
Oh, the one where you fought the boar, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. She was looking at your dad like, I don't get it. Okay, well,
But I don't want to come back after the job.
your dad looks over at her, kind of that knowing look. Oh, I see. Have you thought about this? It can't be that bad here. You're getting work, and then when you don't have it, you have a home to come to. You have dinner made for you. Surely it can't be that terrible having to do a little bit of tailoring.
It's not terrible, Mom. It's just not making me stronger.
Where is your Amidrama mark?
It's
Chest,
like
stomach, or
right
back?
chest.
Okay. Oh, is it the mark in the
Yeah,
like weird up arrow?
yeah.
Okay.
Spears are hard to draw. Come on.
Well, it doesn't have to be a picture of a spear, right? 'Cause,
Yeah.
Sometimes they're weird markings that it usually takes shamans interpret them, right?
Yeah.
They tell people what they are, but sometimes they do look suspiciously like what they're meant to be. So she does kind of glance down at it and say, yes, that is understandable. Not everyone can be blessed to have the mark of the maiden, such as myself, and be destined to have a wonderful family. Your dad kind of nods. We sparred. I wanted to test her abilities, and I don't think she's ready. Anything could happen out there. Shand is a big city, one of the largest in Setsegia. He could be asking anything of her. It could be very dangerous. It's even closer to the war effort, in fact. Closer to the unclaimed. Who knows what's in those lands? Roll a sense motive real quick.
Oh yeah, a thing I'm totally trained in. With my very great wisdom.
Oh, we probably don't need battle music. One day I'll get better at switching that around. It's a motive of 8. Okay, nothing. I mean, he just says, who knows what's out there? And your mother just kind of nods. She looks worried. She looks very concerned, but she doesn't have the same, like, oh, you sweet summer child kind of look
Yeah.
your dad was giving you. Like, you're not ready for that. She just looks very worried. She's, Arjuna, we cannot be roadblocks for her. If she's following her life's passion, we have to be advocates for that. He's nodding, says, I know. I've never wanted to be in the way, but I believe our guidance can really provide a safer path for her. And she nods, she says, oh, of course it could, but what if that safety is the roadblock? Lamia, I don't want to
Lamiya
see
is
you
nodding
get
at
hurt.
this.
I don't want to see you get hurt, ever. Destinies and all of that. Gods above be praised for everything we have, but there are a few things that would convince me to let my daughter be hurt or killed. But I understand that this is something we can't protect you from. And at this point, your father looks over at her, and he reaches over and grabs her hand and says, she's not ready. And your mother said, she gives him a look that you've interpreted as, you think she probably agrees, because that's what the instincts would be, right?
Yeah.
But she looks back at you and says, I don't think we get to determine that. Arjuna, We keep telling her no, she's going to find a way anyway.
Lamia also nods at this.
He just sighs. Well, you are an adult. I can't just stop you. So, if you're going to go, I guess that's that. But I do not think it's a wise decision. I think you need more training, more guidance, as much as you've come to hate that word. Lamiya, you just don't know what's out there, and I know that's why you want to go. But having a proper foundation can make that a... I don't think this wise. But if you leave, of course, you will always have a home here. And I only pray that you use that to your advantage.
Lamia gets up from the table and rushes over to hug him. Just gives him a nice little squeeze around, and then goes to his mom, or her mom, sorry.
He hugs
gives
back.
her,
It's stiff. It's a little tentative.
Yeah. And then goes to her mom, gives her a nice, comfortable squeeze, like, "Oh, thank you so much, Mom," whispering in her ear.
She hugs you very tight and says, "Please be safe." And she says a short prayer, of course, in your native tongue of Ulu.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a prayer right now, so I'm not going to say one.
Yeah.
But she does whisper a short prayer, expecting you to join in. If you kind of share it for a moment, then
I'll go ahead and join her.
Okay. And she'll let you go. And she's all teary-eyed. And her father is pensive. But after a while, he's just like, well, food's going to get cold, so we should probably at least finish our last meal together.
Heck
now.
Yeah!
He's kind of going back to trying to make things feel normal and whatnot. Eventually, the table is cleared. When your mother goes into the kitchen and is kind of putting some stuff away, he does stop you for a moment and says, "Reconsider this. Just take the night, the next couple of days, and really consider it." He doesn't wait for an answer. He just says that and goes into the kitchen.
Lamia will shake her head and head over to bed, getting everything packed up and ready.
Alright. You, say your goodbyes or anything like that?
Yeah, I say goodbye to, Grandma and Mom, and I'll even say goodbye to Dad and say I considered it, but I'll admit I didn't consider it very long. I love you, bye-bye, kind of thing.
Yeah. Your grandmother is, she's the least phased. She's just like, "Oh, I figured it was about time for you to go. You do have the right mark for it. And you're not going to find great enemies of your people here at the tailor, so you should go and find them. You should go and kill them quickly and come back home." That's pretty much her 2 cents.
That's a great grandma. She's smart.
She's wise. But, so you say your goodbyes and you head out.
Yes.
What's your horse's name?
I've decided to name him Chetla.
Chetla. Okay.
I'll send the spelling to you.
We'll change the sheet real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually says it. Chetla the horse. Chetla. Got it. Done it.
Yeah.
Okay. The music's still playing. I didn't screw it up too bad this time. Anyway. I'm double checking. Have I messed anything up yet, audio-wise? It doesn't look like it.
Awesome.
I was half expecting to look over and see my mic muted or something.
Right? And be like,
We have to
oh,
re-record everything.
I guess we have to redo this.
Yeah. Ugh, glad I don't.
Yeah, me too.
But, yeah, sore from the sparring session that didn't quite go your way. And, but emboldened by the words of your family, even if your father is clearly very disappointed. And really at no point does he, like, come around and just be like, well, good luck in your travels. He's just like, just make it back. He doesn't think you're ready, obviously. I don't think this was covered in your intro. He, before you leave, kind of holds your shoulders. And he says, you remember what you promised.
Yeah, of course. I will never join the army.
Exactly. No enlisting.
No.
You want to kill
I promised you,
people,
Dad.
That's fine, but not our people. Your people.
Right. Yes.
Seeing as I'm an outsider. But, alright.
Yeah, I promise, Dad. I'm not gonna break that promise.
Good. At least send letters whenever you get where you're going. Okay?
Of course.
Alright, well, here's the rest of your things, and he just lets you get outfitted and gives Chetla another couple of head scratches and pets. They see you off. Let's get you moved. Or,
Okay.
well, I guess the other screen moved, because you're already on the right screen.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Go ahead and take that off. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, Chetla, we can totally do this.
Alright, so you head out.
Mm-hmm.
Head out all the way to Shand. That is a long way.
Yes, it is.
It takes you, let's see, how long does it take you to get to Shand? You're on a horse.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about
Let's see,
because it rains so consistently, travel conditions aren't great. There's woods. You are on the main road, but we're gonna say you get about half coverage.
Mm-hmm.
About half your normal. Oh my gosh, that's why I'm not pressing Q. I'm pressing Shift again. I don't know where that habit came from.
Probably from work.
Go ahead and roll me. We'll see. We're gonna have to roll some survival checks
Yep.
to see if you're able to.
Get some food for myself.
Yeah, which would normally cut your speed in half, also, but we're just gonna give you a flat half.
Okay.
Half travel rating for the purpose
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah.
So 154 miles to Shand.
So that's at least 6 days.
Yep, that is it. Well, it's a minimum of more like 8.
Okay.
Because you're moving only 20. Okay, so... so more than likely, you're going to stop in...
And
Bomnadulgan, Bayan.
Yep.
You're going to stop in these places. There's like some villages around and such. And when you're there, it's not as difficult to get food, right? So we're only going to check for the 8 actual days of travel that it takes you to get to Shand. So I'm going to just do... we'll do 4. We'll do 4 survival checks. I don't want to do 8 of the same roll.
Okay.
They'll cover
There's
2 days each.
one. Yay!
Fantastic.
2. Not so fantastic.
Not so fantastic at all.
3
3.
and 4. Okay.
Okay.
So one night, I'm really hungry.
So yeah, there's 2 nights where you fail to get any... where you just completely fail to get any food, so you have to use up your rations.
Okay. So let me go ahead and get rid of those on the thing.
Oh, and for anyone watching, if you're not super familiar with Pathfinder or D&D and RPGs and stuff like that. You've probably heard about like natural ones and natural 20s. These are skill checks, and on skill checks, there's no like critical one way or the other. You just either make the check or you don't. Some campaigns they play with it anyway, and that's fine. I don't particularly like them, and most of my group isn't super a fan of them, so we just don't use those effects. We don't homebrew those in. It may add some extra flavor depending on what's going on, but anyway, continuing. For now, that one was a fail, so there's 2 rations used.
Yep. I minus them from my pack.
Okay, but otherwise, you do manage to make it to Sean, because you're just taking the main road. If you're actually trying to travel through the wilderness, it wouldn't be quite as easy as it seemed in Eli's intro thing here.
No, I imagine not.
Wilderness survival is pretty difficult in Setsegia. So, you make it there. And Shand is indeed one of the largest cities in Setsegia. It's huge. It is its population of about 23,000 people. It is a walled city, but there's kind of like a shanty town area. There are a few of them like sort of outside the walls and such. You got lots of farmland, which is kind of rough going when it's raining so often. But there are a lot of different irrigation and stuff that goes on. Plus, the soil in Setsegi is pretty unique. Being a native, especially, you know that Setsegi actually exports soil to other places because it is very unique. It's almost to the point of supernaturally well conditioned for having such heavy rains. Obviously, there are still struggles with flooding and that kind of stuff in the area, but it should be a lot worse than what it is. If it rained this much, even in Gurga, it would. If it rained for a year, the way that it does in Setsegia, it would fucking destroy. It would destroy a lot of their infrastructure. Lots of their crops would just get flooded out completely. But here it seems to work. So yeah, that soil is exported to places that are, as a reserve kind of thing, or so they can plant crops in it in areas where they do get heavy rains and stuff like that, so they become a bit more resistant. Anyway, that bit of lore aside, you make it to shot that I've done all that talking for no reason.
It's world building, darn it.
It's true. So you get there, and which is great. You get there, you're basically out of money. You've been eating rations and victuals anytime you weren't in a city, and even in the cities, you can't afford good food. So you're kind of alternating between, foraged and hunted things, your dry rations, and basically street foods, which taste great. They're awesome for when all you've had is what Nothing. You could scrounge, but it's not like you're going to eat a big, hearty, healthy meal.
Right.
So you got that going on, plus kind of having to spend the money to feed your horse.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously, you've probably done some odd jobs here and there already, right?
Yeah.
Just to kind of get by, whether it is to barter for food for the horse or food for yourself or lodging or any of that. Were you about to say something?
No.
Okay. So anyway, cool. You've made it. You're hungry, probably pretty filthy, tired of being on the road, but you are in the big city. Everyone else is much cleaner looking once you get inside the walls. And this place, even so the walls actually, there is a, around the walls onto the inside, there's this big awning, essentially, that kind of surrounds the city. It goes out 25-ish feet from the wall to the inside to give just this constant cover anywhere near it. So a lot of stuff over there stays dry. And that's a big thing that you've probably noticed when you were in. Let me see if there were any other big cities on your route. I was looking at my map and then I closed it.
Whoopsies.
Delgi's small. Domno Delgin is small. Bayan is pretty small. Bayan is bigger than the others, almost 3,000 people. So you probably have seen some of it in Bayan, because they have some of the larger buildings, but definitely here in Shand. Most of the buildings also have these like canopies built onto them. And then there are these like trenches and stuff that carry water out of the city or down into the sewage system, which you guys definitely have. But the big cities in Setsekia, their sewage system is a little bit different. It's very similar in that it flushes a lot of stuff out, but it's pretty much just carrying water out of the city. And that's the way that it kind of stays a bit drier inside of the bigger cities. And they can even carry it out from areas where the crops grow and stuff, so they don't flood. They are very well made. Cool. But it's also why you guys have the traveling cities.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Lamiya's pretty kind of not shellter shock, but about all the buildings.
Yeah, you're farm girl in big city.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not really a farm. Delgi is
it
is a city, but it's not a city like this.
No, not in the slightest.
Okay.
But
I've done all that description. Go ahead.
Eventually, she would try and make her way to where Visag Batu is, and if she can't find it, she'll ask around.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now that it's been months now, you don't necessarily know exactly where to find him here. You know his name, and he is he's upper class. Like, people are gonna know who he is, but you do have to try to find him. So for that, we need diplomacy. That is a gather information.
Another good thing I'm good at.
We're just going to do a few checks and see how long it takes you to find him. I don't think he's going to be too difficult to find because he is, I wouldn't call him famous, but a lot of people do know who he is. Let's see. Obscurity of the information. Okay. So you spend a day in Shand. You can't even get, it would be a struggle to get all the way across the city in one day.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of in one of the districts of it, sort of asking around, and you don't really have the money to bribe anyone or grease palms or buy people drinks.
Not in the slightest.
So you're just asking, and depending on the kindness of people, and some of them are pretty kind, but they don't know. And the ones who... But some people are they seem very suspicious that you're asking for him, because you don't look like the same class that he's in. So I don't know. So a lot of people are kind of withholding information, or they don't really seem too interested in talking to you, or whatever. So you do have to spend a night there. It is going to cost 2 silver pieces to get your lodgings.
Let's see. It's 10 silver pieces to 1 gold, right?
Yes.
2 gold? Okay.
No. 10 silver pieces to a gold.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
okay.
Per gold. Yeah.
So let's make that. Okay. Done.
We can go back to some fantasy music. I've been changing the music around, I've just been doing, go to a different song. Okay, anyway, sorry. So, you spend a day there, asking around, don't quite find what you're looking for. Go ahead and roll another diplomacy.
Woohoo. This time, learning her lesson, because people don't think she's part of the class, she'll say, I was offered a job with him, and I really need to find him, please.
Okay.
That was worse. Thank you, diplomacy.
So you do, but this time it seems like you're just finding people who don't actually know where he stays, right? They know who he is, they know he's around. They even kind of can get you in the area of most of the high class people live in this part of the city. And, you spend the time getting all the way over there, and it's a lot more expensive over there. But you're in the right area now. But your logic is going to cost you 4 silver pieces now.
No! Alright, done.
Why don't you tell the audience how much money you have left?
I have 4 silver pieces and 3 gold.
More than your average commoner, but kind of not too much for an adventurer.
No, not in the slightest.
So, your third day in Shand, trying to find Batu. Roll a diplomacy check.
Yes. Hey, it's another 11.
So your third day, looking around Richville, and just nobody's opening up. People are like, oh yeah, I know who he is, but I don't know you, whatever, right? Or I think he's out hunting, and he's not going to be back for a while. Like, you'll have to ask him back in a few days. They don't really want anything to do with him. So at the end of the day, at some point, you probably are hanging out in one of the taverns, right? Trying to drink something cheap. So you're gonna spend, you're still in the richer end of town, so you're gonna spend about 4 copper.
That's also 10 silver to 1 copper, right? Or
10 copper to 1 silver. But,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Yeah, you gotta keep breaking your money down.
Yep. Did you say 4 copper? 4 copper?
4 copper, yeah, 4 copper.
Okay. Alright.
And that's a cheap drink, right?
Yeah.
So, I would pull the map up of the place and tell you exactly where you are, but I didn't have it prepped, so sorry about that. But, so yeah, you kind of hanging out, just having a drink at the end of the day, kind of tired, just walking around trying to get information all day. And finally, Visag Batu actually shows up at the tavern. He comes right to your table. You see he's got 1 guard with him. And he's like, I see that we have a person who's been looking for me.
Thank goodness! Yes!
Misator.
I have been. She'll get up and offer her hand, and the whole thank you for seeing me kind of business.
Shakes your hand, has a seat. The person who's the guard with him, you don't recognize them, but they just kind of give you a nod, and they just sort of stand nearby.
Yeah, I have been looking for you. I'm so excited to see you finally.
Takes a seat. He says, yes, it's good to see you as well. I was wondering if you would ever come out here to talk to us, but I started to give up hope. Maybe someone else had hired you.
No, it just took me a while to get everything settled and get all my gear ready. But I am here. I'm finally here. I'm ready to do the job.
That's good. I have some mixed news for you. I do have a job that you could definitely do. You could be a part of. I would love to hire you. However, the original position that they offered you, that would have been at my estate as a guard, but also to accompany people when I send my help out to other places to retrieve things, or sometimes in different parts of the city, I like to send them with protection. I would have sent you as well, but that position, unfortunately, has been filled.
Her face falls a little bit, but then she'd readjust herself and be like, well, okay then, what's this job I can be a part of?
Yes, there is one I have for you now, and I will try to pay exactly what you're worth. I would hire you anyway, but the business has been very difficult as of late, and so I just can't afford it. But I think this one thing I can pay you fairly.
Okay.
There is out to... Oh shit, hold on. Okay. It is a bit north of the road, up kind of near the cliff shore in the north of the city. Apparently there was a few members of a merchant group that are under my employ who are attacked. And so they were waylaid. They had to run away. The cart was left with all of the goods and such. And I wanted to have some people go out there and retrieve what they could. You know how the bandits are. Sometimes they don't have enough. They can't take everything. They just take what they can and they run. There are some guards patrolling the roads and such, but it's not. They're not going to go out there and get this. This is a private affair. So I have 2 others that I've hired already, but I don't know them. They are vetted insofar that I know that they have done some work for some other people, but nothing like this. And I'm trying to get this together quickly, so it's good you came now. Sending someone that I know I can trust, who's brave, who I know can handle themselves. I'm so glad to have you here, and I am willing to pay you. It shouldn't be too terribly dangerous. I will pay you the most of the group. It's going to 80 gold pieces.
Lamia, during the praise, she smiles and gets kind of like not actually giggly, but you can tell she wants to. And then when she hears the 80 gold, she does the visibly.
That is how much you are getting all paid total.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Each of them is going to get 20.
Okay.
You will get the other 40 left over.
Okay. Yeah. I would be glad to do this for you, sir.
There could be some risk involved, yeah? And if you're injured, if anything like that happens, then, we can talk something else to compensate for this. I just, as much as I can offer at the moment.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And
okay.
We'll go retrieve everything that we can.
Yes, as much as you can. If it is too risky, just get what you can. Be as safe as you can about it, alright? This is not worth people's lives. I need to recompense some of these, especially at this time, and there were some sentimental items to some of people in my employ that were left behind, so I would like to get them back.
Great. When do we get started?
Tomorrow morning, actually. So hopefully you've had some night's rest, and what are you doing is, here, he slides your 4 copper pieces that you're gonna pay back over. No, I will take care of this. Where are you staying tonight? You stay down the road or something.
Yeah, I was gonna, basically the same place she had stayed the last night before, since this was the gathering area that she could find closest to where the rich people were.
Okay, well, I'm not going that way. He looks over. He's kind of a youngish dude just sitting there with his head in his cup. Goes, yes, young man? Would you like to make 2 silver? The guy's head pokes up. He says, okay, good, thank you. Run this to, tells him again, sends that guy to go pay for your room, basically.
Oh, thank you so kindly.
That is no big deal to me. This is personal wealth accounts, yes? That part is easy. I don't have to take it out of your pay. But I can't do much else for now. Anyway, it is good to see you again.
Yeah, you seem to be in well health, besides the unfortunate potential loss.
Yes.
We're gonna do our darndest to get everything else back.
That is why I like you. It's got that good heart, this one. The guard guy just, she seems to. I will look around while you're gone. I will see if I can find something that might have more permanent assistance for you. Yeah?
I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. It's the least I can do. Yeah. I don't know what would have happened if... gosh, that was a big bar. I was facing the totally opposite direction of me, and who was it at the time? Was it Jovan and Delric?
Yeah,
those 2 with me. Both of them, we were all so focused on the stag on that other side. I didn't even hear this thing until it started squealing, and we're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Looking over. How did you even? He looks at the other guy. There balls on this woman. Hey, tell him what you did. You tell it.
Well, like, so some of us, like, it wasn't his guards, of course. We were hired to help out with the hunt. Me, Thomas, and I'll be honest, I can't remember the other one. He was different though. I really wish I could remember his name. But
I don't know.
yeah,
You're in the way.
he did. Well, it was a scary situation overall.
Oh,
But,
I'm not angry at him. I'm not angry at him. It's just he ran away. I didn't see him again. Hard to remember.
It's true. That's very true. But we happened to be looking in that generic area because we already knew Barut, if I may be, or no, not, damn it. I was looking at my list, but I wasn't looking at it correctly. Batu, if I may call you that, sir.
Oh, yes, we are. We are familiar. You know my hearth. I know your chi. Yeah, I know.
They were focusing solely on the stag, just like he said earlier. And we happened to be looking the opposite direction where this, gosh, it was like, I feel like it was 7 feet tall when it was charging forward. That's what it felt like.
It might have
And
been.
and all I could do was just jump forward, and I had a halberd. You see, I have my halberd right here. She like points at her back, seeing the long pole arm just chilling there. And
You likely have it resting against a wall. So there's not
you're
really
probably right.
like a mount thing for your back for a halberd.
Yeah, you're probably
We're not
right.
playing that high of fantasy.
Yeah, no. So she'll point at the halberds like, yeah, I happen to have my halberd, and I just jumped forward and blocked, like, probably around 15 feet away from Batu, and it just ran into Gorin itself. It was really lucky that, the others had their bows and arrows pretty much ready
Oh,
after
yeah.
they heard it.
Of course, we wheeled around and immediately are like, oh, God, I go to my archery practice in that day. No, we will have to properly catch up. Maybe when you get back, have a drink or two or something.
Oh, I'd love that. Thank you.
Of course. And the guard guy is just like, kill the bull herself, huh? That's not even any of the scars you've got. This didn't sound like you had a hard fight.
I mean, it would have been hard if it was just me, I'm sure. But it did most of the damage to itself, so.
Batu's just, yeah. The other two with her, they gone. I mean, I can't blame them. It was big. It was big. It took like, what did it take us? Like 2.5 hours to break this thing down and get all of the meat up and everything? Like,
Yeah, definitely 2.5
took
hours,
forever.
because I got yelled at by Dad that night. I remember that.
oh yeah, but it was raining and it usually
Oh, yeah.
is.
Of course.
No, I do actually have a meeting that I'm supposed to go to, so unfortunately I can't.
Peace.
But again, it was very good to see you again. And he gets
Yeah,
up
you
and
too.
Shakes your hand again. And
Yeah.
the
I
guard
return the
guy
shake.
Shakes your hand also. And
I shake his hand.
they head out. So we have a mission tomorrow morning.
Yes. Lamiya immediately goes to get to her new room that was paid for. Hooray! To rest for the night, because
Stop fidgeting. Sorry,
Oh.
go ahead.
actually, before Batu leaves, she needs to know the details of, hey, where am I meeting these two people? Where do they actually know where we're going? Do I need a map? Those kind of things.
He actually he tells you like where his estate is and everything, so that
Okay.
that way you actually know where he is.
Yes.
Tells you where that is. Says, yeah, you can just come to the gate, and then we'll send someone to meet you, and they'll have the details. Basically, the two other people that are going are actually staying on the grounds there tonight.
Okay.
So, because they've been there for a few days, so.
All right.
So
Perfect.
they'll actually. Cool.
Yes. All right. I just wanted to make sure that was
Of course.
communicated, because I
No,
don't want her to
that's
wake
fair.
up and then go, oh shit, I didn't get that.
That's fair, and I can't pretend I wouldn't have been like, well, you didn't ask, so...
Yeah.
I've definitely done that. Okay.
All right.
So we're going to cut to the next morning. Sorry, everyone. My dog is staring at me, and I don't... What, buddy?
Is he not tucked in anymore?
He's not tucked in anymore.
You need to tuck him
in. Sweet boy, you're going to have to wait. I'm sorry. You threw all the covers off, buddy. Plus, he's looking at me like that now. He's going to have to end up on the video. Yeah, you're going to be on a video. On another one. Yeah, I have a personal channel. That's the only video that's up. So,
yep, it's true.
Anyway, next morning. So you get up. It is actually one of the rare mornings when it's not storming. It's actually kind of clear outside, a little bit warmer than it usually is. And so you head to the gate of Batu's estate. And I didn't even describe what he looked like. Maybe in another session. You get to his estate. It is this nice, like, gated area, right? Now the gates are actually open, and you can see that underneath these like large overhangs to like a smaller building off to kind of the side, you can see that there are like several of these little gardens and other things, and like way down past a bunch of trees. These big tropical-looking trees. You can actually see his manor, and then there's a couple other houses around that his servants and other people stay in. But at the gate itself are 4 people, 2 of which you can tell they're under a little bit awning thing, and you can tell that they are kind of just stationed there. The other 2 actually packed and ready to go. They're like walking, their horses out, and one of them is a young Vishkanya man, so he's got the fine little scales and such. His are kind of a very pale green color, like he almost looks demi if it wasn't for the burnished gold eyes. He comes out. He's got one of the waxed canvas cloaks on. The other one is he's actually Avar, which is a dwarf. Avar, Avaar. He's a dwarven man. And he's actually got one of your family's ponchos on, with like a hood up and everything. And he doesn't recognize you or anything, but you can tell. Like, no. Oh yeah, that's my family's make.
Yeah,
you can tell. As they lead their horses out, and the Avar man looks up at you and says, "Aye, you're Lamiya."
Yeah, thank you.
Well met.
Well met.
Shakes your hand.
She also shakes his hand.
He gestures to the other guys and goes, that's Cart. Court. It's a weird name. Court.
Court? Court.
Like a court of law.
Okay, yeah, court.
He's from Dalansha, but he's mute. So,
oh, okay.
He speaks in like gestures, but I don't know them, so we just sort of. He looks over and he does like a couple of motions and does this, and you see the other guy smile and he just nods, kind of gestures at his throat.
Lamia does look over to Court and says, "Hi, Court. I am Chi Lamia."
He's doing sign language, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it because I don't know enough sign language.
No.
And it's also not American Sign Language because you're in a fantasy world.
Yes.
But you know that there is actually a sign language. And he can make a few different sounds, and he does. Because the Ulu language is very evocative of the things that the words mean. The mythology around it is kind of that it was taught by the elements themselves. And so, like, the word for fire sounds like a flickering flame, and so on and so on and so forth. So it's actually very easy to communicate, even if your speech capacity is limited, or if you don't share a language. It's actually a really good language for that. So I will generally give you kind of the gist of what he is saying to you, even though he's not speaking verbally, because he's not too difficult to understand unless he's trying to communicate a complex idea.
Yes.
So, and he's not deaf; he's mute, so he can hear you. He just the words don't form.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But so when you introduce yourself, you can tell that he's like just introducing himself as well as Court, and you actually think that his hearth, like he has a hearth, even though he says he's from Delancia, is something evocative of a flowing stream.
Okay.
And you actually get the word, the name out of it is Fluda.
Fluda?
Yeah, F-L-U-U-D-A. Hey, the transcript picked up on it.
Nice.
Even though that can't be seen on stream. So, yeah, you see that. And yeah, you guys have your greetings, and as you're kind of walking your... Oh, yeah, he introduces himself too.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's Court, and I am Vadim.
Vadim?
Vadim.
Vadim,
as
okay.
in motion, or maple, or mother. For a while, he continues to say M words.
And she'll nod to each of them.
And then, as you guys are kind of walking your horses down the road for a little bit, he starts explaining. He says, "Yes, we are to go. It's less than a day north. It shouldn't take maybe a few hours to get there.
Perfect.
I have a little map, but I don't want to take it out. I'm used to it raining, so maybe now is a good time." He produces the map now that he realizes it's not raining. Kind of just shows you you're headed. I had a marker. Where did my marker go?
Where did
Buddy.
you put it?
Relax, sweet boy. Relax. Okay. Well, it was somewhere. Here it is. Too big.
That is too big.
Up there.
Okay, yeah. Perfect.
Whoop. See that on stream? Yeah, we should be able to see
Yeah,
it.
wait,
stream.
I don't...
We're recording.
We are. But I can't see the recording regardless.
Yeah, you can't see it right now because we're not streaming. So, but yeah, it's up there. So he indicates that. He says, yeah, that was about 4 days ago. So there's a chance we may not find anything, but I don't know. Batu seems like a good people, so we,
He is.
be very honest and we'll do our best.
Definitely.
Full disclosure, I have mostly made my trade as a bodyguard, just in the urban places, but I don't know. I wanted to get some more experience in the fields and such, because at some point, I will be called to service to fight for my country. So I want to know what I'm doing. Yeah, it does. Are you recruited? Are you going to be fighting also?
Unfortunately, no. I was denied entry into the army.
He looks at your arms. At first glance, someone might think is he checking her out? But
No.
he's literally realizing your physique and how you carry yourself. He's just why did you upset a commanding officer? Or
Lamia looks at herself and is like, it's been quite a while since I was denied. And then I made a promise to my father not to apply again, so.
Why would he make you promise? Oh, I understand. Lots of people have family in Durga, or, the attachment. I understand, I think, why people would not want to fight, but someone has to.
That is true.
I don't know what happened during the Chogakeha, but if the wood shaman, if Aldan Batbayar, Voice of Flame, if the wind spear, all of them are saying the right thing to do is to leave these to the thrush. Who are we to question it? Yeah.
It is a complicated situation.
Aye. Anyway, we were going to go out there.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of woodland experience. Court, I think, is a good tracker, though. He nods.
Great.
Kinda... Go ahead.
I'm not super great at it, but I was able to fend for myself for at least 3 days. She like looks to the side,
He
embarrassed.
he gives me he's like gives you like a clap, like that's impressive. It kind of tells you like 3 days is not actually a short amount of time. A lot of people wouldn't be able to do that. And he's kind of he's like kind of praising you for it, and indicates that his family mostly made their trade hunting. They'd sell pelts and that kind of stuff because he is actually from Bomno Delgan, which you passed on the way here.
Oh yeah, we
and that
did.
is a hunting city.
Okay.
It actually used to be one of the moving cities, but right after the Chavakeha, they put their roots down. So, Harley, buddy, quit licking.
Oh no!
Quit licking, buddy. Okay. Now he's staring at me again. Poor thing.
Well,
Anyway,
if you didn't talk to him,
but yeah, he's from there. So you guys kind of touch base on that for a second. So before you get there, do you have any like specific things you want to call out? Anything you want to strategize? Anything like that?
so to clarify, Vadim is basically another fighter.
I'm not going to tell you their class because
Well, no, but like since I can kind of surmise he might be kind of a fighter since I was also basically doing bodyguard work.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Yeah, he's equipped with. Yeah, he's wearing studded leather.
Okay.
And he's got a. What sword does he have? I don't have his sheet up right this second, but I can get it.
And then Court is likely.
He has
not likely.
He has a hand axe and a sheet and a light wooden shield.
Okay.
And then he also has one of the Ulu recurves in his back with a quiver of arrows.
Okay.
And then,
he's skilled in weapons at the very least.
Yeah, he definitely knows how to use weapons. He would probably share, where he trained and that kind of thing. Like he's trained, but there's no like I'm a fighter. Like that's
it's true.
So, but he tells you like he knows his way around. He's done a lot of sparring and training, and he's been through some of the basic training and stuff for the military. Like he kind of knows what he's doing.
Okay. Yeah. And then Court, I don't want to assume, but like he's probably equivalent to like what is his equipment? Does he seem to be carrying, or do I think he's just here to help us get there?
He's wearing leather. He has what looks like a short sword and a he has a short sword on one side of his belt, and on the other side he has a curved one that you think might be a scimitar.
Okay.
And he also has the Ulu recurve. He has actually he has like the quiver across his back, but he also has a belt quiver.
Okay.
Looks like they have the feathering on the arrows is different from both.
Okay. So, but he's also possibly skilled. Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't talk a whole lot about his training, only that he was a hunter. So.
Yeah. Okay. Strategies. Well, I guess
questions or strategies. So like
questions or strategies.
Where'd you guys train? What do you do? And they kind of explain.
Yeah.
They both do. Will express to you also that Vadim is a bit more comfortable with with his close range weapons, but he's proficient with the bow. He can use it, but he's more comfortable fighting with close range weapons, and it's the opposite for Court.
Okay. Well, Lamia will also share her experiences so that it's a equal trade in the
Yeah.
knowledge department.
They also see that you have a halberd.
Yeah. Let's see. There was one thing that was bugging me. What was that thing? Sorry, let me go over my sheet real quick because I think I had something to do with that strategy wise. Oh, so since we're trying to get a lot of stuff, I guess I'll ask if who thinks they can carry the most, and like if we need to flee, um we'll try and grab like I, personally, she thinks we should grab the sentimental stuff more than if it's still there, and because it's sentimental stuff, it's more than likely still there versus actual expensive things. If they need to flee, and if we need to flee, we need a kind of meeting spot to meet back up with each other.
Yeah, if we are separated,
Mm-hmm.
we will find one on the way. On the way up,
Okay.
we will make a spot. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe right where the road turns. That
Mm-hmm.
northmost point. Kind
Yeah,
of
I see
indicating,
that.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like this spot here, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Okay. And yeah, who feels most comfortable carrying the most?
Well, I think your horse is biggest horse, so maybe we use
Yeah,
it
that makes
mostly.
sense. That makes sense.
Our horses are kind of big, but not like that one is like a draft horse, you know.
Mm-hmm. She pets Chetla. Okay. Yeah, I think that was the things that were bugging me the most. Any other strategy? Oh, since Vadim talks a little, I mean quite a bit about the Ulu culture, does he have a mark? An Amidaraba, sorry.
Yes, he does. Hold on, Draba. You can't see it because of his armor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He indicates his is. I think I remember, but I want to be sure. Yes, his is. His mark is the bow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Okay.
Which is why, like, he doesn't shy away from using it.
Yeah.
He's more comfortable with the other
Comfortable.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's kind of odd for Ulu to be like, oh, I don't like bows. It's really their main thing. But it's not uncommon to favor something else.
Mm-hmm.
But like using a bow, if you're especially like if you're a fighter of any kind, like that's the main method of engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also something that I figured out. The other culture weapon for the Ulus is a horse bow. It makes so much sense. Why was it not there in the first place? Because I forgot it existed. So that's their second.
That's fair.
Most things are going to have two cultural weapons. So I figured out
fair.
I figured out the second for the first. Anyway, yes.
Okay.
So
strategy wise,
yes.
yeah. Lamia and I guess Vadim would try and pair up to fight like one thing at a time if possible. Not one thing at a time, but like flank them and try and do our best to take one thing down and keep going if we need strategy wise. Of course, if there's like 30 bandits, it's flee. Get the hell out of there. That's too many.
Oh no, I think he said originally it was a group of 5.
It was a group of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, but still strategy wise, I guess take down like the weaker looking ones would be my strategy.
Yeah, if we have to fight, yeah.
Yeah, if we have to fight. I'm not like I'm a happy talker, it's true, but a lot of people can take me wrong for some reason. I'm not sure why.
I don't know, you seem pretty easy to understand for me. Court agrees.
Well, thank you
Um,
very much. Okay, yeah, I believe that's it.
okay, so you guys head out. Um, like I said, Court is an excellent tracker and woodsman,
Mm-hmm.
so you're not going to need to make checks to get out there.
Woohoo!
Um,
Thank you so much, Court.
so you guys get to that north point, and you're like, okay, cool. We're like less than an hour from where the wagons or where the stuff is supposed to be, where they got run off the road and waylaid, essentially. um, so you guys head out that direction. And as you're getting a bit closer to the site, Court indicates that he's going to hang back and try to just kind of keep an eye on the area, and he can whistle, so he'll whistle if he hears anything. He says if you're too far, he has a signal whistle that he'll use, which is louder. And then Vadim kind of chimes in and says, "Oh, yeah, last resort. We don't want to get too much attention. If there are like more of them and they hear a signal, that could be bad." Court agrees.
Agreed.
So he starts to pull back a bit as you guys kind of move forward. There's some trees and such, but you're mostly in kind of like these sort of floodplains in this area. You see sort of like a bit of a grove of trees, and you can see in the distance, you see this toppled wagon over there. Like you can tell that the wheels have been broken, and you can see a bunch of things scattered around that have just been rained on for the last 4 days. And but there's a bit of tree cover around it and such. It's not totally visible, so it all, like, as you look at it, even like the senses of like, there could be anything over there. That's too much space to hide. So,
Yep. So, Lamia will take a look around, like, the perimeter first.
okay.
Before heading towards the toppled over
Okay. So you kind of slow down.
caravan.
You slow down and what do you say to Vadim?
I will tap him on like his shoulder and point him to go like the other direction, like as it's and do like a circle motion to try and communicate to meet each other on the other side before we go towards the caravan.
So, what? Oh, okay. And so it's like I said, there's like a few trees and stuff. You guys will lose visual contact with each other for a little bit if you're going opposite ways. Try to kind of get around this whole thing. So, so you split off one way, and he goes the other. You see him kind of take out the bow. He doesn't quite knock an arrow, but he has one. He's kind of just guiding with his knees. But you can look back and you see that Court is he's circling a little bit. He's kind of moving around, checking like different parts of the road, and he's sort of going a little bit further down. He's riding a bit faster than you guys are because he's trying to get places a little bit quicker to be able to see. So you go around the left side. Go ahead and roll me perception.
Nice.
19. Nice. Did you put that +1 as a miscellaneous bonus?
Yeah, I put it as a miscellaneous bonus.
Good. Okay. Is it because that's on all perception checks, so you want to make sure that's always included.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I made sure to do that. I just have the descriptor on there because, hey, what's this miscellaneous bonus for? Oh, that's what it is.
I believe that made it a class skill also.
Yes, it did. But again, my wisdom, not so great, so...
And it's fine. I think that works for you.
Yeah.
My general rule when it comes to traits for our audience is feats build whatever you're going to be, whatever. If you want to be Mr. Min-Max Power Gamer, sure, right? Traits, however, I approve thematic over mechanic, right? So it has to kind of make sense for the character as a character. If you just like, I want to take it because it makes this a class skill. No, it doesn't make sense for your character to have it. Pitch it to me, right? That kind of thing. Anyway, Seeker is a trait that makes perception a class skill, which gives you a +3 if you have any ranks in it. It also gives you a +1 trait bonus to it, so it makes you much better at perception, which is good because fighters don't get that as a class skill. 19 is very good.
But so it's not why I took it, I promise.
I get it. No, I believe you. So you ride around a bit to the west and kind of circling around, and you're kind of keeping an eye on the area where the cart or the wagon itself is. And you're losing sight of some of it, but then you're sure that you see some kind of movement, kind of at the back of it that you couldn't see when you were facing it full on. It's hard to get a sense of exactly what it is. Something a little bit lower to the ground. Something is moving over there. You see like leaves and things moving. You don't think it's just the wind. You see part of kind of the covered part of the wagon that was there that's been moved, like toppled down. You can see it kind of flap a couple of times. Something's moving back there.
Okay. She's gonna just keep continuing to go until she meets up with Vadim.
Okay. As you get so you get about halfway around, and you don't see him yet. He might have been riding slower than you. You get about 60% of the way, and around the bend, you see his horse running. It's just beeline straight past you.
Okay. Well, she's gonna go the way that the horse came from then.
Pick up pace, or you just...
Yeah, she's picking up pace, because it's like, oh shit, shoot, what happened?
Okay, so you get around, so you start coming around, probably a bit more tentative. Do you have anything, weapons out, anything like that? Give me a visual.
Yeah, she'll have her halberd at the ready.
Okay.
Like at her, like a charging
down.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start coming around. You've picked up the pace a little bit. You hear a roll of thunder. You know it's going to start storming again soon. And as you get around the way, you see a figure just barely lying in that tree line on the ground.
Yeah, she's gonna go towards the figure.
You approach, you can definitely tell it's Vadim. Looks like he's part of the way in the woods, and he's kind of slumped against the tree. And as you get closer, you can see that, like, the side of his face, there's just this mass of blood. And, like, part of it has been, like, just smashed in.
Is he dead?
You'd have to actually go check him.
Yeah, she's gonna go.
Check.
Yep.
Okay, so you dismount, you get over there, you run over, roll a heal check for me real quick.
Another wisdom thing. Why do I need so many wisdom things?
This was your decision.
It was.
16. So you get over there, and you're kind of trying to check if he's breathing or whatever. You can see that, like, his jaw has definitely been broken. And you can see that his eyes are kind of rolled back and stuff, but you feel just like the faintest breath out of his nose when you reach over. You can tell he's alive, but he is not getting up anytime soon. And right as you take that sigh of relief, what is your armor class and your actual armor? Flat-footed.
It's 18. Oh, flat-footed is 16.
16, okay. Oh, that was almost good. That was almost really good. So 6. So right as that happens, something shoots across just above your head, like it skims the back of your helmet. And you look up and you can see this hulking figure standing about 15 feet into the woods. Gosh. Hold on. I had art for it. 2 seconds. I'll pull it up for you. You might recognize what it is out of character.
Oh, no.
In character.
No idea.
Knowledge check.
So no idea.
I'm trying to see if I've got like a map I can just take us to real quick for this. I'll just make us a real quick Theater of the Mind map. No big
Heck
deals.
yeah.
Or, you know, we can just go to the start. We can go to the start map.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. We can go there. And I'll just drop some figures on it. Bloop and bloop. So, if I was better at this, I could have carried that freaking tension and momentum into this, but I am so slow. Still learning. Okay. Let's pull your token out here just so we got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's show your stats in this thing.
Yes.
Save. Got it. And the thing you see is that.
Ooh. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, let me try that again. So that maybe the audience will see it. It just doesn't appear very big. It's just not a very big picture.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I
fine.
was thinking.
They'll be able to see it. They'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
So we can clear that. And we'll bring this stuff again. So yes, you see this creature standing in the woods. Just... It's... I say hulking. It's not like large size mechanically. But it's definitely a lot taller than you are. Broad, as you can see, these kind of long arms, and it's like these ears they're like pointed and like slanted way down. They almost look like horns. And these like big tusks coming up. And you can see it's got this like shield on its left arm. You can see it heft another javelin to hurl at you. And we are going to roll initiative. Let me get the tracker. Go ahead. Make sure you have your token selected.
Okay, you haven't added that macro to this one. Okay.
Oh, the initiative one? Yeah, not yet. I will.
Okay, I have it selected. Let's get that initiative old.
15. Oh, you know, I don't even have the one that I use for him. Jeez. I'm not on my game. Okay, that's fine.
We're playing this rather late, ladies and gentlemen.
We are. This is being recorded quite late at night. Why is Eli on here? Get out of here, Eli. I guess I never cleared it. So. Okay, so you see him heft up this second javelin, and you get to react.
So first thing she says, shoot! And she's gonna go grab the only potion of Cure Light Wounds she has and pour it down Vadim's throat.
So, move action to draw the potion. Standard to feed it to him. Go ahead and roll 1d8 plus 1.
Yep. 1 moment. Taking it out of my... okay. 1d8 plus 1.
It's 5. Okay, so there's one problem. He has a broken jaw, and he's unconscious. I'm going to need you to roll another heal check. I just want to see how well you administer this potion. That's going to determine how many of those hit points he gets.
Mm-hmm. Not very well.
8. Not terrible. I was only... Basically, I'm looking at it as a DC 10, right?
Yeah.
You didn't fail by more than 5, so you still get most of that. You just lose the plus 1, so he's going to heal 4.
That's fine.
Which is... He remains unconscious, but he does look quite a bit better than he did.
Okay. Let's see. That was move and standard. So...
Or, I might be wrong. I'm so sorry. Hold on a moment.
That's fair.
Okay, let's just check quick. Oh yeah, he's still out. Okay.
Yeah.
He's still out.
Okay, so that was move and standard. So she's just basically still right there tenses as the javelin is going to come throwing next to her.
Yep. So it's his turn. It kind of steps a little bit closer. It gets to within 10 feet, kind of slides in like it's trying to get a better angle on you since it missed so badly last time. Mm-hmm. Chucks this one at you. Let's see. Not flat-footed anymore.
Hey,
So,
it got what exactly it needed.
18. That's a hit. That is a hit. Alright, you're going to... oh. That doesn't count because that's supposed to be open rolled. I meant to actually roll that in the open. Actually, GM rolled it myself. Okay, you're going to take 6 points of piercing damage as that javelin sticks kind of in the wedge between your shoulder plate and like the rest of your armor, but it doesn't like jam all the way in. That would be way more devastating. But you feel it hit and before it kind of bounces off. And you can definitely tell that one got kind of deep, so you know that you're probably bleeding underneath the armor, but you're okay for now.
Yeah.
And that and then he's actually going to reaches down on the back of his belt and pulls out this big spiky morning star, and it is your turn. He's 10 feet away.
Yep. She moans in pain. Not quite ever really having this kind of pain before, but then grits her teeth and makes it her way towards him, and like flourishes her halberd and goes for a strike. With a power attack.
Okay, so move action to get that 10 feet towards him. Coming with the power attack. Furious Focus, go for it.
There we go.
20 freaking 3. And that's plus 4, right, for the damage?
Yep.
Yikes.
Which I need, because I keep rolling.
Oh, yeah, that hurt a lot. Okay. He takes it. So you, he gets the Morning Star out, and you rush in there, and when you come in for the strike, you kind of plant the back of it against the shield when he brings it up, and you use that the bottom of the halberd to pull the shield down a little bit, just enough that when you swing in with that axe head, he doesn't quite get it up all the way. So he catches the shield just underneath the actual blade of the halberd, which is all that saves him from being beheaded, as it just cleaves down into the studded armor he's wearing. And he just grabs the hilt of it, throws it off. The thing is strong, but you can tell that fucking got him. There's a lot of blood coming out all of a sudden. And his eyes, which are these pupilless, white eyes, they're kind of wide. You see more anger than fear.
Yeah.
But it was a really good hit. Okay. And kind of licks its lips. And, plants its feet for a second, it kind of shifts a little bit, you can tell it's checking its footing, and then just springs over at you, tries to kind of get the shield, but up to kind of protect from the halberd as it swings down at your midsection with that Morning Star.
Ooh, this is gonna hurt.
It's gotta hit you.
Yep, it's gonna hurt.
Hit you for it to hurt. 10, 15.
You didn't hit me. Woohoo!
15. You parry you just smack, catch underneath the head of it with your halberd, push that away. He kind of comes in for a follow-up, and you knock that aside, and you get back into your range. It is your turn.
With a furious glare, she's basically going to go back to finish the work of trying to decapitate him. Once again with a power attack.
Go right ahead. Oh shit!
Yes, that works.
So 26 points of damage.
Actually, that would be 30.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we gotta add that. He was at and has a con of. Okay. So you get back into your range. You set your stance. You can see that he's keeping the shield like a direct path between him and the head of the halberd. Like he's trying to follow it. He's like being real defensive. And he's just trying to find that shot with his Morning Star. And you lunge in and you come in with a strike. Describe your kill.
So while he was trying to meet up with the shield and all that jazz, it's still the halberd still actually goes through the shield and still goes into his neck and slices it through as she follows up with like a flourish.
Okay. So yeah, as you're kind of aiming it, you see it for a moment, like as he's kind of following it, your eyes you like notice it. Because you're pretty sharp. Most people give fighters a bad rap, but especially in combat, you notice the flaw there. You notice that when he caught your halberd, you actually cleaved into part of the shield. There's like a big crack in it. And so when you're seeing that, you don't think he's noticed it. So when you do that, you just go full strength, knowing he's going to block it, and it just splinters right through the shield and catches him right under the chin. And you can see that he was going for a counter. Like he went to like kind of buff off and parry and try to deflect it. He's got it raised. He just goes... Like you see, he looks confused, looks down at the halberd. The arm falls. The Morning Star just down into the ground, which is still kind of wet and muddy because it's usually raining.
Yeah.
He grabs onto it and tries to pull it out and slowly sinks to his knees. You flourish the halberd around and he just falls over to the ground. It's like a final spurt of blood out from the neck of the creature.
So after that, Lamia takes a few deep breaths and then immediately looks around to see if there are any other ones.
Okay, roll perception.
There you are.
Another 19. So while you're looking around, you don't see anything at first, and you hear something kind of rustling. Something's moving quickly, and you just hear this loud. It's not even that loud. It's almost kind of subtle. It sounds like a bark, but there's a hiss to it. It's not a dog, but then a dog jumps out at you. A dog that looks like a dog-sized rat, but it's got the sleekness of a canine. It's almost hairless, and its tail is this rat-like whip. Just rushes through the underbrush and tries to jump out at you, but you're actually ready for it, so it doesn't get a surprise round on you.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I brace? It's charging at me, but no. Okay.
You know what? I will say you get a surprise round on it because it definitely did not expect you to notice it. It thought it was going to get the drop on you. So
cool. So yeah, in that surprise round, I'll brace.
Okay, so you brace, and I believe that does that give you a bonus to hit or a bonus to damage? I can't remember. I don't. It's hard.
Let me double check because I was looking at that the other day.
I'm sure if any of my Pathfinder friends were watching, so like it gives you a bonus to like they already know it.
Yeah, they.
If I was watching a stream, I would have this down. Like I would know it right away. But anyway.
No, I don't want to go there. Just go to the freaking weapon.
Brace quality.
If you use a ready action to set a brace weapon against the charge, you deal double damage on a successful hit against the charging creature.
Double damage, that's right. Okay, so you still have to hit it.
Yep.
You know what? That's kind of weird, though. Because normally you don't even get an attack of opportunity when something's charging you.
Yeah.
I actually don't know how that rule interaction is supposed to work. Let's roll initiative first and see if, or I'm gonna roll its initiative first and see if it matters.
Yeah,
You already
you're
had
right.
yours, we didn't actually exit initiative.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
I beat you.
It does beat me.
So it does matter. Hold on. Give me just a couple of seconds. I can come with a ruling pretty easily. I'm gonna read this one thing and see what it says, and I'll make a ruling.
Mm-hmm.
It's so seldom used.
Yeah.
It's so seldom used. I'm just gonna rule that it's gonna let you get an attack on it because it's kind of dumb if it doesn't.
Okay.
It would only work on things that have reach, and then it's pointless to put on a halberd. So I'm gonna rule that, yeah. So when you ready that brace, it's gonna give you an attack of opportunity against the charging creature. I think that's fair. So you rated that as yours. When it's turn, yeah, it is charging. It sprints out, leaps at you, like it's trying to get over the halberd to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you may make an attack.
Yeah.
That's 24. Yeah, that definitely hits him. 10 points of damage turns to 20. Describe your kill.
So as it charges to try and leap over, she's just gonna simply raise the halberd up and basically let it land against the spiky end and the sink through the brace part, and then she's going to heave it over herself to basically land right next to the other dead thing.
Okay. It happens exactly as you described. And you see like some blood spurt out of its mouth, and it scrabbles for a second. You just toss it over. You hear a crack when it lands. And that's it.
And again, she takes a big deep breath and looks again, because good God, how many of these are coming at her?
Another one.
Oh, another one does come?
Yes.
Alrighty then.
It just runs out, it pauses for a second when it sees you, like right as like the other one cracks against the ground behind it, and it starts kind of stalking over towards you, moves behind a couple of trees. You can tell it's coming for you. I'm gonna roll that one's initiative. And much worse. So I'm just gonna change this one, and it's gonna be on. So when it gets back to your turn, it is about 10 feet from you.
About 10 feet from me, and so
it's
there is
it's kind of behind a tree a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's 10 feet from you. Total.
Okay. Yeah, she'll go ahead and march towards it, get ready to swing down on it with another power attack.
Okay. Natural one.
Yep.
So you try to swing down at this thing as it kind of like it moves a little bit subtly behind the tree a bit more as you're coming for it, and you try to take the swing at it. You try to correct to like hit it, and instead you hit the tree, but you can hit it with the actual blade part of the halberd. You've turned a little too much, so you hit the side of it on it, and it kind of spins in your hands for a second. And you kind of readjust, and while you're readjusting, it lunges at you with a bite.
Yep.
Which is going to be a... Oh, it almost rolled over to that natural 20.
It did.
I can't want to kill you yet. We're in a prologue. You can't die here. It's in the past.
Hey, I think it's fair that my dad kicked my butt so hard earlier today. So
fair enough. So yeah, it lunges at you, and like you don't have the halberd in the right place. You just kind of release it with one hand and sort of duck down behind your pauldron, and it scrapes against it. You can feel its claws like scrabbling. You manage to push it off with one hand and get your grip back. This thing is scrappy. It is definitely going to come back after you. It's not running. It's your turn.
Oh, you poor thing. I wish you would run, honestly. I'm busy thinking of other things right now. Yeah, she's gonna go ahead and power attack it.
Yeah, right ahead. Oh yeah, you just it backs up and it's gonna try to dodge. You just fake for 1 second, and it moves a little bit too soon. You just right down through the middle of its spine, pin it to the ground. It gurgles a couple of seconds and then just goes stiff.
After making sure this, I mean, even though it's stiff, she like pushes it further a little further into the ground because she's kind of annoyed, and then looks around again because again, how many of these are out there? How many of them are trying to kill her?
The woods are silent. You don't see.
There's not
any
even a
others.
whistle in the air.
Nope.
Okay.
Because he was looking around the perimeter. These came from inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just making sure there's not a whistle in the air.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
he's being attacked.
You don't.
Okay.
You don't hear one.
Okay. We'll calm down a bit. Take a big deep breath and then make her way back to Vadim.
Still unconscious.
She'll pick him up and try and get back on Chetla and try and make it back towards near the it's not a caravan.
Wagon.
Wagon, yes.
So you take Vadim back over, and as you do, and you're passing the corpse of the thing you murdered, you can actually see that there is an arrow sticking out of the top of its shoulder, and the one that he had knocked is gone. But excuse me, God, sorry.
I will go ahead. I mean, when I go past that, I will go ahead and grab the arrow back. That way, he can have it back.
Nice. It's nice of you. So yeah, you get him back up there, and then you're going to go toward where the wagon is.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, his horse ran off. It's gone.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Luckily, he is an Avir.
Avar, but
Avar, sorry.
so you get over there and you find some of the stuff's kind of waterlogged. A lot of it is actually kind of under the wagon and sort of like the tree cover and stuff, so it's actually somewhat dry as it begins to rain again immediately after.
Yep. She does want to look to make sure, like before she gets way too close to it, she wants to make sure if there's a thing still moving in there.
No. There's
Okay.
you don't see any kind of movement or anything. You see some like weird little tiny tracks moving from it toward where you just came from.
Okay, that's fine. All right, then she's gonna go ahead and start loading up what she can.
So, without too much fanfare or anything, we'll say you're at that point are able to get quite a bit of what's left. Not all of it because you're minus a horse, but
Yeah.
you get quite a bit. You get everything that like seems more valuable, or it seems like it was somebody's stuff. Kind of get it all bundled up and like really quickly, and when at some point probably signal court and he comes over and helps, and he gets Vadim's wounds kind of bound up a little bit. Like he seems like he kind of knows some first aid, and then gets him up on his horse, and you guys start making your way back immediately. So cool. You make it back without issue. Let me clear this real quick. There we go. You make it back without issue. Back to... where's the map? There it is. Back to Shand. Anyway, you get all the way back there, get up to the estate, and they actually lead you through the gates and stuff, and you go to where you're going to kind of offload it, and there's some of like the other servants and stuff that are around there to like take it and kind of separate everything out, and they start cleaning stuff, and some of them are like, oh good, yes, oh thank you so much, I didn't think I'd ever see these again. Some of their stuff obviously was lost, and you meet like the ones who actually got attacked, and they're thanking you and everything, and eventually you kind of you leave the area where everybody's unpacking stuff and they're trying to talk to each other and get things sorted. But Batu will come back out to greet you, and he comes out. Vadim is obviously taken to a medical facility.
Good.
And Court takes him there, and he says he trusts you to get, or he says he trusts that you're not gonna do anything untoward or whatever. Like, he doesn't need to be there for the rest of the transaction. He trusts you.
Yeah.
Some people might be like, no, I need to be there till all the payment's done.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wait. So you could be like, oh, I'll give it to him and take the whole lot. He
right.
trusts you. So
okay.
So yeah, Batu comes out and he kind of asks you a little bit about what happened and all that kind of stuff. And do you want to RP that out, or are you kind of good with just going?
I'm good with just explaining this is what I ended up fighting.
Okay.
That we, surrounded the perimeter and etc.
This is that. It sounds like they call them bugbears.
Oh.
Bugbears, yeah.
Huh.
I don't know why. I don't think they look like bugs.
Yeah.
Kind of bear-like, I guess.
I mean, a little, I guess, but
bear-like. He's actually doing this bear-like, roar,
yeah,
roar,
that definitely was hulky like a bear. I don't know. Huh? I'm never. So that's what a bugbear is.
And you defeated it all on your own?
Well, Vadim hit it first, so that helped.
I'm sure it did, but you faced it down alone, beat it in single combat, essentially.
Yes, sir.
What is this? Are you being humble?
Well, I guess maybe.
Goodness.
I guess if I would be as awesome as Dad, it wouldn't have hit me in the first place. But I got a nick here.
Lamiya. To hell with humble. Okay, look, you did something awesome. It's okay to celebrate it. When you're trying to... You want to do this whole going and getting work from people thing, you kind of have to sell yourself. Somebody in the back not like that! You sell your expertise, your abilities. Being super humble is nice, but not at first, don't lead with that. Show your confidence. You're out here.
Yeah.
You made this decision. And then you did it. You did more than I expected. I didn't think you were going to fight a bugbear and two weird rat dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe you would get there and you'd have to go really fast, and maybe the bandits come back and you get shot at the worst. That is... Look, like I said,
I did say we would get everything we could.
You did, and then you did it. I don't know if you realize this. Maybe because us Ulas are so... We value honesty and straightforwardness so much that it's easy to think that everyone tells the truth. Everyone says what they mean and does what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But the ability to say, I will do exactly this, and then deliver that precise result, or better, that is something. That is something very good. Now I regret hiring another person. I shouldn't say that. They're very good at what they do. I think I would prefer to have you, but I can't, in my good conscience, release someone from employment just because I like someone better. We are in an agreement, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, perhaps when business is better, of course, maybe we will meet again, and I will have opportunities for you.
Yeah, that's always possible.
But for now, I don't. So, yes, if you want, there's a. We have kind of behind the manor there, there's a little area, it's a bathhouse. If you'd like to clean your gear, clean yourself up a bit, feel free. I can tell you about the other job place that probably has work. I can tell you about that. You can meet me inside. Just tell them they will let you in. We'll go into the we'll go in the sitting room and just talk for a bit.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Of course,
I'm
of
gonna go
course.
ahead and wash myself off. It's been a very long trip for me.
Yes, you have lots of blood on you, and that makes people ask questions.
It's very true too.
So you separate, you get cleaned up, whatever. You go, you go into this very very nice sitting room. It's very warm. It's very dry, which is also great. And yeah, he has like some food brought to you, which is like little like it's actually a little platter with like little roast vegetables on tiny skewers. And there's some kind of sauce that goes with it, and it's a little bit of bread, and then like some drinks, some kind of weak wine.
So even though she knows she shouldn't, she does kind of start.
He doesn't seem to mind because he doesn't have, like you haven't like gone and eaten or anything yet. So,
Yeah.
but he says so. This place, it's
Mm.
unfortunately it's not here. It's not really close. It's all the way in Saikan.
Can I get a reminder where that is?
Further to the east, you will go past Balan. You'll go past Nolon Jarga. You'll go past Kuren, and then there'll be Saikan. It's the biggest port city on the side of Tsegia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow, that is a bit more far away, but you say there was a place of employment there?
I would say so. There's I've hired them before for something. It's this place called Aldwin. Aldwin logical retrieval or something.
Okay. Okay.
It's run by a foreigner. I think he might be Tarsian. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't recognize his
Hmm.
accent. But I don't know. I know he hires help pretty often. I remember talking to him a bit about it, like just business. And he has trouble keeping employees. From what I've heard in Saikan, it's not because he is a jerk or anything. In fact, he's one of the more polite people I've met.
Oh.
But weird stuff happens around him. People say that the shadows move strangely and they get an odd feeling in his presence or inside of his office. So,
I guess it makes sense they stay employed with someone they don't feel comfortable with.
you're roboting again.
Oh no!
Okay, it stopped.
No!
It
Okay.
stopped.
Okay. Um, I guess it would make sense why they would not want to be with someone they're not comfortable with.
Yeah, it's true. He was a nice guy and they did good work, but I don't know. The rumors have me a little skeptical. However, like I said, they did well, and if he can't keep a team together but continues to deliver the results, it makes me think perhaps he's a good place to be. He could use someone with an honest face who delivers on what they say, like you. I think if you're trying to make a name for yourself and you want to go where you are needed, that could be a good start. Someone who has trouble getting people who are like committed and
Hmm.
brave.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I even could expand my horizons if he's Tertian, like you said.
He's something. He's not Ulas. I can tell you that. But he's very kind.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Just, I don't know all the kind of work he does, but I think someone who specializes in getting things for people, some may be a little under the table. So,
Hmm.
just be ready for that.
Yes. Thank you so much, Batu.
Of course. I just feel bad I can't hire you anyway. So it's just you right now. The others, I know that they're taking Vadim to one of the clinics, but
Mm-hmm.
I will pay them later, unless you want to take them their money.
What was the understanding that that's what I would do?
It's either way. There was no previous understanding.
Well, she
Court
would like
trusts
to,
you either way.
yeah,
Yeah.
she would like to do that. That way, when she takes the money, she can add more gold into theirs instead of her just getting paid the 40.
Fair. So you say you'll take it to them. He says,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, no problem. He grabs a couple of bags, and he stops and goes, I, no, 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 no. There's something else I'm going to give you. Okay, I don't know how much use it's going to be to you right away, but
Okay.
reaches down into this little drawer thing, pulls out a small belt pouch. You probably know what this is. He dumps all the coins into it. Doesn't seem to bulge or anything. Shuts it. This is a pouch of the treasury. It's just the kind of lowest version of it. It will hold a lot of money. It's magic.
Oh, that's so neat.
It only holds money. You can do
Only money.
coin, you can do gems, and you can do even thread bars. Um, I've I will give you a little thing that's got some information about it. Okay?
That would be very helpful. Thank you.
Of course. I think I have a few of them, right? So I think it could be useful to you later when you are, rolling in the coins.
Yeah, right?
Hands it over, so you get to add that.
Thank you so much. I can't find it on like
It's
just
not
by
a.
Google.
It's a homebrew. I'll have to send it to
Oh,
you.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I was confused.
The roboting. The return of Robot Molly.
Why am I roboting? I don't understand
I mean, Giselle.
the difference, honestly. Um,
I've got to get better at that. No, but
I get it though. Am I still roboting?
it's stopped again.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, Thank you
so
so much. I feel
you're very
blessed.
welcome. Well, aren't we all? In some ways.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it is in battle through Roan, or if it is the will behind the cycle that has brought us here. I mean, these Amidraba are a gift to us anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to waste time doing things that they were never meant to do in the first place?
Right?
And he gets up, and you guys will kind of chit chat a little bit more, and he'll see you out. So, how much do you divide to the other two?
I give them 5 more gold each. That way, technically, I'm still paid more, but at least they get closer to equality. You know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you go and pay them. By then, Vadim is awake. He thanks you for essentially saving him.
I
And
make sure he gets his arrow back.
He's extra thankful because now he doesn't have to buy or make another arrow. Court, you can tell, is a little bit disappointed that he didn't get to help.
But Lamiya, if he says, not says, but admits to that kind of disappointment, is like, you help by keeping an eye out. That's still very helpful. Like, I'm so glad there wasn't any bandits around.
He seems to believe you. He wishes he could have helped.
Yeah,
But they both wish you well. And
I wish them well.
They buy you buy you a drink, and you guys maybe chat for a little bit. Kind of bond over your shared your shared experience out there.
Yep.
And then you turn in you go eat and stuff, and turn in for the night, and probably head out the next day.
Yep. And let me see. It's Conan level, right? For HP recovery.
Oh, don't worry about it. Just recover.
Oh, okay. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're about to wrap up.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
So, and yeah, our house rule is level plus Constitution bonus overnight for a
Hmm.
full rest.
Hmm.
Normally, it's just your level. Okay, so you leave, and over the next few weeks,
Let's see. We only no, it's more like months because like this trip took 8 days, but we had surmised earlier that
so,
this would be like 3 months trip.
no, I think it was supposed to be like one,
Oh,
two, or
okay.
four.
Then what am I? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Last survivor checks of the night.
Just to see how, yeah, just to see what you get to. So, travel time from Balan. Yeah, and we also measured from your hometown the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
from Balan to here at half speed is about 10 days.
Okay.
So we'll do
Just one way
five
to do.
checks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's enough for yourself. Keep going. You're really scraping by on some of these. Okay. You made it. Yeah, that was. Yeah,
That was
yeah,
better than the
yeah.
one.
Yeah, a lot better. We're going to take those for now. Those DCs are probably going to change when we actually play,
Yes.
but they're probably going to go up, to be honest.
Yeah. Definitely.
But for now, it's just easy. So yeah, you're able to get your own food and everything on your way to Sekhan. So when you finally arrive in the city, it's not as big as Shand, but it's close, and there's a lot less people than there were there. It's just a very large city. There's a lot of like infrastructure kind of stuff going on inside of there. It still has the stuff with the wall where there's like this kind of awning
Yeah.
that comes out and keeps a lot of extra things dry. You see the like the moats and things that run down to just carry water out that gets in. But yeah, a lot more space per person.
All right. It's not bad.
And then of course the giant wonderful port that they have, which huge fishing and other stuff. You see some other ships coming in and whatnot. It's a very different feel from Shand, which is a little bit different. So, but you get there. We'll say you pretty well. Give me 3 diplomacy checks.
Oh yes. Especially since I was told all the winds logics
Yeah, logical
instead
retrieval.
of yeah, not logistics. Oh, that's interesting.
There you go. Yeah, your second one did it.
Yay.
So your first day in Saigon, you look around for a while, but your heart's like not in it. You kind of want to see the city a little bit, and also get some rest and get some food in you, and like kind of decompress from the road at first. And you have some money now,
Mm-hmm.
so you can treat yourself and your
Treat
horse.
my horse. Yep.
So you do that. And the next day, you find some people who are like, oh yeah, that place. I don't know about that place. It's weird. People say there's like weird shadows and stuff disappears, and like some, I don't know. I don't go over there. But it's down here if you want to go. Like, if you need money, I understand. But there's like people like talking to you. Here are all sorts of different rumors. Oops. Here are all sorts of different rumors. A lot of them involve shadow. Shadow
Okay.
this, shadow that, you know.
All right.
And
Weird, but okay.
but some are a little bit different. Some are more far fetched. People say that like if you hire them, then like you end up with bad luck for or whatever. And I heard somebody who underpaid them like disappeared and all sorts of weird stuff.
Okay.
But when you're finally approaching it, you're kind of looking down at like the marks people made of you, like this is what the sign looks like, and so forth. And you look up and you see it, and they're just a pretty strong looking half recog man bursts out of the door. He's just like, "No, come on, no, not another day at this place. Forget it." And then like this kind of lithely built half Kisir, Kisir being an elf, recog being an orc, woman like also walks out, and she just looks like she is beyond over whatever just happened. Like she just can't even. And she's like, "You don't have to tell me twice." And just walking next to him, and they kind of walking past you, and he stops, and she's like, "You're not heading over there, are you?"
I am actually.
Well, good fucking luck. I don't know what the hell is wrong with that place, but I think it's cursed. It's cursed. There's some kind of weird spirits moving around. You're gonna hear voices. Just whatever you gotta do, you do it, and you get the hell out of there. That's my advice. And he storms off.
Thank you. Huh.
The door that they storm through just slowly closes itself. And that's where we're going to end, in case Panda ends up here too.
Heck
At the same
yeah!
time.
Good job, DM.
Yay, we did it. And you didn't die in the past, which would have caused a paradox.
Right?
I had some safety valves to pull if it got bad. So
Still, that was very good. Thank you very much, Sir Ken.
yeah, it was fun. We're not quite as long as Eli's went, but we're pretty close.
We are pretty close.
We're pretty close.
Regardless, thank you guys for watching.
Yes. And you can join us on August 16th at 9 p.m. Central, which is coming up really fast, where we will actually be live to play Into the Storm. And I don't know when Pandas is going to be up, but it will soon. We're going to get its character intro and all that stuff. This will probably come out on Tuesday.
Yeah, I could say Tuesday.
We'll probably do. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm
Yep.
not going to keep saying it in the video in case it's at a different point. So, yeah. Obviously, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell if you like the stuff. We like doing it, and we like people and attention and all that. So, yeah. Check us out. We'll be on twitch.tv. Oh my gosh, I just flubbed it.
Underscore.
I don't know where it went. It's twitch.tv/unnatural_1s.
Yes.
Is our Twitch channel. Go follow us there. Hit the notification deal so you know when we go live. And we're going to keep doing this stuff. And yeah, thanks again. I'm
see you
going to
there.
remember how to get out of a video. Oops, everything was muted. Now it's not. I'll do a proper outro. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.